Hi, welcome to Bullet Pointless, when you're looking for just a hit from the On Pointless podcast. So as expected, this podcast has been a roaring success, and has already been downloaded in 7 of the 50 states. If our success continues to rise to the point that we get all 50 states, which one do you think will be the last to listen? And to recap, we currently have Washington, Oregon, California, Utah, Nevada, Michigan, and New York.
The biggest states, for sure.
I'm going to say New Jersey because I've never been there, but everything I hear, they seem to be stuck in the 80s.
But New Jersey's close to New York.
It is, but it's very far away at the same time.
Maybe like Delaware.
Oh, one of those like weird like northeastern states that... Where's the connection?
Yeah.
Delaware.
We're in Delaware. That's it. Yeah.
Shout out to the Fighting Blue Hen, of course.
Maybe Alaska, but like I feel like that would catch on just...
See, I think Alaska has a chance of being really early or really late. Because Alaska's really close to us. Like, that's the closest state to us. Alaska and Washington both border BC. So...
But does Alaska also have the smallest population of people, so the least possibility of people listening?
That's true. But I do know people who have gone to Alaska. I don't know if I know anyone who's gone to Nebraska. Like, some weird central state where it's like...
The middle of nowhere.
Ohio, maybe?
Iowa.
Iowa.
I feel like I could have a listener in Ohio, though. Like, I feel like someone in Cleveland is, like, gonna like me. Like, I just feel like I get along with people from Cleveland. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because of the Drew Carey show.
Possibly.
But Cleveland seems like a great place, and they'd get along with me just like I'd get along with them.
I think that Midwest states their weather isn't as good there, so they'll probably spend more time indoors, potentially listening to podcasts. I'm going to go with Florida as the last. Even though the population is huge, there's so much to do in Florida year-round. Maybe podcasts aren't as popular down there.
And geographically, it is the farthest state from us. So that makes sense.
That's true. Opposite corner underneath us.
Right.
Okay.
But you do make a great reference to Tallahassee in one of your previous episodes, so that might get people to catch on.
That's true. That could cause them to happen, because we do talk about Tallahassee, Florida. You know what state we never talk about? Rhode Island. Because I don't know anything about Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is whenever I've played the game of naming every state, I never remember Rhode Island.
I usually miss New Hampshire.
Or Vermont.
Vermont. Oh,
Vermont's
yeah.
a hard one, too.
Ooh, I don't know if I'll ever have a listener in Vermont.
They're kind of like Canada South. They've also got maple syrup.
But East Coast, though, it's not the same.
It is.
I mean, we have listeners in Ontario, because we've hit, I think, 4 provinces now. We have BC, Alberta, Manitoba, and Ontario.
Saskatchewan, where are you at?
I mean, do you say Maine as well?
Ooh, Maine, that's a good one.
So we're just going with small...
Small, far away states, maybe? But you've already got New York. But it's a hub. There's tons of people in New York.
I also wouldn't probably appeal to southern states.
Maybe Mississippi.
Can I buy a vowel? That's a stupid one. Makes no sense.
Yeah, no. Florida is my answer. It's too much to do. No time for podcasts. I don't know the stats behind it. But Florida is the state that so many people go to retire. I don't think the elderly listen to podcasts. They probably still listen to the radio.
That's probably true, because they don't know how technology works, and they don't know how to download them, or... Unless their grandkids come and visit and help them. But I don't think they're setting them up with podcasts. They're probably just programming their VCR.
When I first explained the podcast to my dad, it was about a 5-minute conversation where he asked me, yeah, but at what point do I ask or answer the questions? He didn't understand listening to a podcast at all. Now he's on it, loyal listener. Hi, Jim. But, yeah, it took a little bit. So Florida makes sense. The elderly do not get behind new things.
I'm going to stick with the other side of that coast and go with New Jersey. I like my first answer. I'm going to roll with it.
Makes sense.
Delaware.
Bunch of devils.
I'm going to say Delaware still. I know anything about Delaware. I didn't even really know it was a state. I thought it was a city.
Blue hen, state bird. Fighting blue hens, go Delaware.
That's right.
Okay.
That's Joe Flacco and Rich Gannon's alma mater. And more currently, Nasir Adderley.
Of course.
And I'm going to stick Nebraska because we have a huge whale watching community, and in Nebraska it's illegal to kill whales.